Man, oh man, we're finally here. We actually are in the Culling games. Boy, I haven't been so excited for this arc. Man, October. If Jujutsu Kaisen is going to pick a month to get really dark and twisted, I say October is a wonderful time. All jokes aside, welcome to another review of Jujutsu Kaisen. I hope you all enjoyed the chapter as much as I did. We aren't about to waste any more time. We're about to get straight into this review. But before we begin, if you are new to the channel, subscribe. That way you'll get weekly reviews of Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, Kaiju number 8 when I'm able to cover it here and there, and a whole bunch of other content. So definitely subscribe and join the family. Also turn on the notification bell. Drop a like if you end up enjoying the video, and feel free to comment your honest thoughts on the chapter as well as cool speculations on what's to come in the near future. With that being said, we are not about to waste any more time. Let us begin. So we begin the chapter off with a conversation going on between one of the Culling game players and her henchman by the name of Amai. We'll call her henchman because it appears she's just taking orders and shit. The player, who has quite the interesting curse technique, if I do say so myself, says to Amai, "I've been waiting forever for your signal." And Amai is like, "Can't do much about people not coming, that's out of my control." And like most messed up, narcissistic bosses in fiction and in real life sometimes, if we're being real, the player gets angry, of course, and says to Amai, "You talking back to me?" And Amai panics, of course, and says, "No, please just forgive me." Damn, poor Amai. So it appears the player is trying to rack up as many points as she can by catching other players off guard and killing them. In the next panel, we then see the player's curse technique, and it's quite interesting. Never did I expect Gege to do something like this, but shit, I fuck with it. I think it's cool and creative. I wonder what other curse techniques we're gonna see. I believe the chapter before we saw a lightning curse technique. Man, Gege, I'm so excited. Moving on, the player then says to Amai, "Keep up that cockiness and I'll run you over." Yeah, she definitely needs her ass whooped. In the next panel, we jump back to Yuji and Megami, who are going into the game. As they walk to the colony, Megami tells Yuji they need to watch out for the sorcerers that lived long ago and have been shut away. Yuji says he was thinking the same, but he still wants him to explain it to him. Yeah, throughout that whole entire Tengen meetup, I know a single word didn't get through Yuji's head. Fushiguro, of course, irritated that Yuji doesn't actually get it, explains to him that there are sorcerers from as far as 1,000 years ago, and even the ones that are from the recent future, 100 to 200, are still dangerous. The value of human life now and during their time is completely different, of course. Back then they lived to fight and die in battle. Fushiguro then adds that they could have been one of the reasons why they formed the contract with Kenjaku, which I found quite interesting considering they all did what they wanted to do, which was to fight and die in battle. So I'm guessing this will be like a second chance to relive that high, I guess. I don't know, it's interesting. Moving back to the chapter, Fushiguro explains to Yuji there's a high chance that Kashimo and Higuruma are sorcerers from the past, so don't go in expecting to talk no jutsu out of fighting. Fushiguro didn't say that, but those boys are feeling for a fight, and talking it out isn't gonna get Yuji anywhere. Yuji then adds the other feisty ones are curse spirits. Megumi brings in the idea that if they happen to find a mono sorcerer who happen to get caught in the game like Sumiki, they can exchange information with them, which is great. Megumi's just being a goat right now. Like, he's coming up with all types of plans left and right, backup plans and whatnot, laying down rules for you to make sure this goes right as he should, because you know, this isn't just a matter of stopping Kenjaku. He has to save his sister, one of the few people in this world that matter to him. And honestly, I hope he does, man. Like, I hope this is one of the times Gege does not decide to kill off a character. We actually go through it and manage to save them, you know. They get to the colony and they knock, and the Kogan that we've been seeing throughout the last two chapters, the little, you know, bell thingy, announcing for the Culling games appears out of nowhere and basically lets them know what they're getting into. The death match known as the Culling game is underway inside of this barrier. Once you step in, you're a player 2, knowing that will you come inside. Fushiguro says, of course, no problem. The Kogan then books Fushiguro in as an official player and asks him if he wants to see the rules, to which Megumi says no need for that. The two then proceed, and Megumi tells Yuji for now to collect information on Higuruma, and he says let's go, as we see this crazy aura around Megumi. Like, now Megumi has always been a serious, gloomy type, you know. He doesn't usually joke around or anything, but he's even more serious than ever. Like, bro, this is a different type of serious, man. Like, Megumi, he has a mission. Moving on, the two get on a move, and Yuji gets transported to a whole different area, and he's actually transported out of the sky, which is crazy. Yuji's like, wait, where's Fushiguro? So we then get the message that players who have been passed through the Culling games barrier are randomly transported to one of 9 predetermined locations. You also find out that the mechanisms regarding the barrier were not disclosed in the general rules set of the Culling game. So in all honesty, I did not expect them to get separated this early. I don't understand why Gege loves doing that. Like, he did it in the Curse Painting arc, he did it in the Shibuya arc, and now we're doing it here. Which is totally fine, but at the same time, I want to see more Yuji and Megami. Like, I don't recall much of Yuji and Megami fighting together except for Shibuya, and that wasn't against no high tier opponents. But I guess Gege just really wants to separate them. And I guess, considering when both characters get their shine, the moment's going to be focused on the characters individually. Like, nobody's going to be around them besides the antagonist. And with that way, we could focus on Yuji or Megami, and we could see how great the moment that's happening. If you guys get what I'm saying, you know. In the next panel, as Yuji comes flying down, Amai gives the player a signal that another player is in her vicinity. As Yuji comes flying down, he sees Amai with a wand, and right in the middle of the air, while Yuji is coming down, the player with a jetpack curse technique comes crashing into Yuji. And that panel looks so damn raw. Like, I can't wait to see Mappa turn this into another masterpiece. Man, the art just looks freaking amazing. Like, look at the building and the city on the right side of the panel. Like, the amount of detail going in there is crazy. Like, that gives me Fujimoto vibes. Fujimoto spends a lot of time on the background. Like, it's crazy. So back to the chapter. The player ends up crashing Yuji through a building, and following the attack, the player missed. Most people would have been finished after that, but Yuji is standing, so she gives our boy his props and admits that he is tough. She thinks to herself that he's alive and kicking. He's no ordinary guy. In the middle of this, the player gets on her walkie-talkie and says, "Darling, let's meet up." At the time, I didn't realize it, but we found out that while Yuji was regrouping from the crash, in the middle of this, he actually managed to grab onto a piece of debris, which he imbues with cursed energy and sends flying at the player's torso. This sends her crashing into a building and of course leaves her with a bloody torso. I do have to admit, Yuji never fails to amaze me with fighting. Even when I expect him to do something cool, man, he always manages to top it off. Like, you gotta love Yuji. Now after she comes crashing down, Yuji is shocked he managed to knock her down this easily, and he realizes he needs to ask her about Hikuruma and then find Fushiguro. In the middle of this, another player shows up and says to Yuji, "Who do you think you are? What are you doing to my woman?" And his head is literally a fucking helicopter. Like, what the fuck, Gege? I love it, man. I love it. Yo, if you don't want to say this, but I'll say it. Gege is channeling his inner One Piece, man. It has to be that. That's the only way I could explain this. Like, during lunchtime, Gege has to be watching some One Piece episodes. That's the only way I could explain it, man. Like, so back to the chapter. This guy must obviously be the other Culling game player with the jetpack and his lover, and he's fierce, of course. Even though she started it, I'm sure Yuji would have gone down the peaceful route, got his info and left. No hands need to be thrown, but she was looking for blood. But all jokes aside, Yuji balls up his fist and says, "Guess I can just ask him." So it appears Yuji's about to get into a 1 versus 2. I highly doubt that the sorcerer with the jetpack is out for the count, but I do have to say that this fight will end with neither of the sorcerers dying or both of them dying, and it kind of being like a kind of beautiful, you know, lovey-dovey way, you know. In the next panel, we jump back to Amai, who's scouting the area, and she says, "Haba-san's here." So I'm assuming that's the guy that just showed up, and she asks if Hanyu-san was defeated. So I'm assuming we finally got a name for the jetpack girl. I was tired of calling her as the player. Amai then uses her curse technique to take a good look at what's going on. She didn't realize that she's actually seen Yuji before somewhere, and then she says Itadori. So correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Amai part of Geto's crew? Like, I'm not too sure. All I know is I think I saw Amai in Shibuya, or it had maybe volume 0, but I think it was Shibuya. Anyways, let me know in the comment section if Amai is a familiar character or she's new. I could have sworn I saw her somewhere though. But in the next part of the chapter, we jump back to our boy Megumi, and he's beating this girl's ass, whose hair happens to be shaped like a fucking scorpion. Bro, Gege's been watching too much One Piece, man. The girl asks Fushiguro why is he doing this, to which he replies, "You attacked me first." Fair enough. In the middle of this, Fushiguro thinks about how he didn't expect for him and Yuji to be separated like this. Fushiguro then asks Shikigami if he's had any luck in finding Yuji, to which he says nah. It's at this moment Fushiguro realizes that the Culling Games barrier is much larger than Shibuya, and that there's a chance they're probably over 2 kilometers apart. But they're both headed to the same place, so he's hoping it'll work out. Megumi then asks her if she knows a sorcerer named Hikuruma. She then goes on about how men think women will do whatever they want once they hit them. Yo, this girl's been through some shit. Megumi then tells her answer, and she says, "Yeah, sorry." She then goes on to confirm with Megumi Hikuruma is the guy with 100 points, and Megumi asks her, does she know where he is? The girl then says, I see how it is. She then says she'll tell him, but in exchange she wants him to do a favor for her. And Megumi straight up says, well, say it, spill it out, whatever the hell you want me to do, just say it. She goofs around, of course, but then she says it. She asks Megumi to become his knight. Without hesitation, Megumi says, alright, we have a deal. And the girl gets down over the fact that Megumi doesn't want to have a discussion over it. I don't know, girls are weird. Fushiguro lets her know he doesn't have the time for her bullshit and tells her to walk in front of me. The girl gets mad and says, oh, come on, you don't understand a knight has to put his life on the line to protect me, you know? And Fushiguro replies, well, it depends if you're telling the truth. If you're lying, you know what will happen, right? And he has quite this serious look on his face. He then thinks to himself, I'm different from Itadori. I don't mind earning 100 points myself. The girl then says to Megumi, stop calling me you, call me Remy. And that is how we end the chapter. So for starters, let me remind you guys, Toji is Megumi's dad. We have seen how crazy Megumi can get. The first time I believe was a Death Painting arc. I think Megumi can go even deeper than that, and I think he's approaching a level, bro, because this is his sister, man. I mean, that's the only person he really, that's one of the few people he actually cares about. Man, we about to see a whole new side of Megumi, man. Bro, the fandom is about to lose it, man. The Culling games is going to be so legendary. I could just feel it, man. Like, this arc is gonna be, bro, it's gonna surpass S tier, bro. Whatever S tier is gonna surpass that, bro. I could just feel it, man. There's gonna be a lot of growth for both Yuji and Megumi, especially Megumi. I haven't been the biggest Megumi fan in all honesty, but with more and more time we spend with the character, he's growing on me. And I'm so excited for what's to come. I personally cannot wait, man. I feel like the Jujutsu Kaisen manga has been like the manga of the year in my opinion. Like, I love Wano. My Hero has been amazing. What else? Black Clover has been doing good, but Jujutsu Kaisen has rarely missed, man. But I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Drop a like if you did. Hit the subscribe button for more content. Hopefully I'll put out next Jujutsu Kaisen video before the next chapter. Hopefully I'll try, but you know, these college classes, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching if you made it all the way up to here, and have an awesome day. Thank you.